All right, we are live streaming into the group. Hello, Modern Mystics. Let's see. Here we go. Hi, everyone. Marielle here. I know we still have a lot of people joining us live here into the actual Zoom link. I wanted to do it on Zoom, not just on live stream, because I think it's really valuable to allow you guys to actually ask questions. I want to make this super interactive. I have a lot planned for the next 3 days. If you've ever been to any of my trainings, you know I like to go deep. I'm one of those people that really loves to offer you the value and not just like tell you, superficial stuff. So today we're going to be talking about, I'm going to be giving you some ideas. We're going to talk about, I want to hear from you all and what you struggle with, or if there's anything in particular that you want to ask me, that you want more of. I'm happy to switch gears. What I was thinking about talking about was just some of the mindsets that we all adopt at one point or another as we're going into the holidays. Hi, Laura. Hello, gorgeous. And how these mindsets can really keep us from doing the right things at this time of the year. Also, I want you to walk away with at least 5 different ideas throughout the whole 3 days. I'm going to share 10, but I want you to walk away with at least 5 ideas on something that you can do to create cash flow right now. So with that said, I think we may have some more people who are joining us. So what I would like to do is I would like to, like I said, open it up and allow you guys to ask questions where you're struggling the most. What is it that if I have a magic wand, and I do, what would you like to wrap your head around or accomplish or do? So, and if you know me, you know I like to pick on people. So look at Laura laughing. Okay, I won't pick on you first. So who wants to go first? What is a question you may have, something that you're going through in your business is a total safe space?
I'll go first. So you know that I made the switch from where I was at to mom's, and I have officially moved away from that because I got too triggered. With everything going on in my life right now, with my kids, I'm just like, no, back. And so just how do you, with like not having everything created, with everything being at the very beginning, how do you juggle like that feeling of you're not there yet, so you don't have everything done, and putting it out there when it's still not done?
Yeah.
And the constant shifting.
Yep. That is such a great question. I mean, you were meant to, this was meant to happen.
I'm like, I need cash flow, but at the same time, it's not all done. Like it's still in my head, and that's it.
Exactly. So let's just switch into coaching a little bit here. It's all in your head, right? So what would need to be true in order for you to be able to help someone with what you have in your head?
I can still help them if it's still in my head. It doesn't have to be fully finished and completed. And yeah.
So you believe that with having it all be imperfectly completed, but it is in your head and you know exactly what to guide them through, you feel confident that you can help them?
Yes. At least with the first couple parts.
And that's it. So your struggle, it seems like, is coming from more of a place of perfectionism.
Yeah.
Like I want to be
and
professional.
and self-doubt. Like, I still feel ish on my messaging. So it's like really hard for me to like,
Let's define messaging. Messaging is such a big, big freaking word, right? How does you having the perfect messaging affect the results your clients get?
it doesn't. I mean, not the client, not that that they get. It's
Exactly.
just, it's like, I feel like if I don't have my messaging right, I'm not going to get clients.
Okay, so then you have a different question. So it's really not about whether you can help someone or not.
No, I know I can help them.
Okay.
I just have to have them first.
Exactly. So from the place of knowing that you can help someone and having that confidence, that piece being what you are confident about,
That
can,
helps.
can you use that as fuel to move forward? Because let's just say you don't need, if you're starting, like you said, you don't need 10 clients right now. How many do you need? You
If
need one or
two,
two.
I don't
Exactly.
have room for right now.
And so you already have low hanging fruit. You do. And if and you just haven't come out of your shell because you're like, oh, my messaging sucks. Oh, I don't have any, it's all in my head. Oh, you see what I'm saying?
Completely.
So the question, welcome Simone. The question was really like, how do I get started? You just need one client right now.
And even that is like, it's like my low tech sexy offer, my 7-day journey. Yes, that would be nice to have 5 people in that, not just one. But I
So
haven't even
so
started
you
that
can,
yet.
exactly. So you can even break it down even further and say, I want to get clients and I need to get testimonials and I need to get the ball rolling. So how can I make this a no-brainer for people? Like what would have to be true? And this is what I'm always talking about, momentum. You have to create momentum. And this is coming from someone who did this. Like I had no ads, nothing. It was literally I felt like one of those people with like a, what are those called, the megaphones? Hey, I'm here. But this is when it's important to understand how to you don't have to be the perfect copywriter, but you do need to understand the results, the results that they're going to get and their pain points. Because all you have to do is make a list of those pain points. And if you could write one post about that pain point, and you can, I know you can. Yeah. So it's always like
Okay.
breaking it down into 3 steps and saying, whoa, messaging, I need to get my messaging right. That's so fucking big. That's too big. It's more like, okay, I know I need to get that done, but that's really big. What part of that do I need to get done? Today inside the visibility bolt, we were talking about how to craft your bio on Instagram. That's part of your messaging. But see, notice how that's a bite-sized piece of your messaging. So instead of saying I have this huge messaging thing, that problem that I have to fix, no, I need to fix just this one little problem, and then break that down into 3 steps.
No different than what I do with my clients. It's just breaking it
Exactly.
down so it's not so freaking scary and big and
That's why you have me.
like so annoying.
I'm so glad that we started out with this, because this is the type of resistance that we face, that we all face. Okay. And it's almost like the same resistance that remember when you were in high school or college and you knew you had that project due and you knew it was due, but you did what? You waited until the
Procrastinate.
very, yep, you
Yeah.
procrastinate. You wait until the very last minute. And also there's always, and you all know this, I'm preaching to the choir here. You all know that there is a hidden benefit to not getting it done. What's the hidden benefit?
It's adrenaline rush.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We do like that adrenaline rush. We all like that. Listen, I am a last minute Nelly myself. I get it. I'm addicted to that adrenaline. I'm working on it. I'm doing breath work on it. but beyond that, like there is a hidden benefit, and the hidden benefit is that you get to stay in your freaking shell. Like you get to stay small. And I know that us coaches, we don't believe in, like, we don't think we have that, but we do. We have our very ingrained fears of success. And this is not like what I'm talking about here is not even like, this is like really deeply rooted stuff that doesn't even come up as a conversation in our head. It's the kind of stuff that's actually that we project, right? So tell me, with the knowledge of knowing or this conversation, what are you going to do different?
Break things down. Think of one thing specifically within the what my 7-day live journey will be.
Yeah.
They're drained. So what can get them their energy? Figure out what gets them energy.
Yeah. Like you could literally create an instant 7-day or 5-day challenge, go live wherever you have the most eyeballs, and every day give one big breakthrough. And then every single day you give that breakthrough, and that breakthrough you have a powerful call to action. And your call to action is your low tech sexy offer. And it's true because it's a powerful call to action because it's got a date where you're going to take people live through this. It's not like, oh, just go sign up. No, this one actually has some energy behind it. We're starting on Monday. This is, by the way, you guys, the reason I love live launching. I like live launching. I love doing my challenges and my workshops because of the energy it creates. It creates energy. It creates momentum, and money likes speed. Money likes speed.
So on that 7-day live journey, like we can create that, like that starts whenever.
Yeah, you can
whenever
start
we're ready for it.
Yeah. Yeah, whenever you're ready for it. And that's one of the things that I want you to also think about. You have a lot of low hanging fruit. And this is where the organic game is, when you don't have ads or any other systems. Like this is why business coaches teach what they teach, right? Which is, the secrets in Instagram, how to DM people, how to create connections, how to do all of that. So you're going to do some of that stuff, but when you create your 5-day, I wouldn't recommend a 7-day. I would recommend a 3 or 5-day challenge. I want you to think of it as you are giving them breakthroughs that it's like someone once told me, it's like putting a nut under a tree and letting the squirrels come and get it, right? Like you're not force feeding it to them. You're just letting it, and then you're letting them come to you. That is the difference between being an annoying DMer that DMs everyone and actually being someone that's going to connect authentically with people, because people are going to come to you and you're going to start a conversation that is genuine. A conversation that's not just like, oh, let's get on a discovery call. It's more like, so what are you struggling with? So have you tried this? Have you tried that? All right, cool. Well, I think you do qualify for that. Yeah, that was such a great question.
Glad to help.
Awesome. 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 Anybody else have any other questions before we jump in that you just kind of, you're like, ah, I wish someone could just give me some insight on this or give me a perspective. Hi,
My
Simone.
hello. My question is, what is the? I know sometimes it's kind of like, and I feel like I'm in my own way, but what is the best way to make an offer? I know you're big on making the offer. Like, what is the best way? And I guess I question myself about my offer that I'm pushing out, so to speak. So, what is the best way you would recommend to make an offer? It's just doing it, I guess.
Yeah, that's a loaded question because it really depends on how many people are on your email list. If you have an email list, if you're just getting started, if you're so let me ask you that question. Are you getting started or where are you in that journey?
Okay, so I don't have an email list. I've been doing it for maybe 6 months. And so I thought to myself, well, let me get something under my belt, you know. So I have been, and I don't know, a lot of people, there are different coaches that says don't do anything for free or whatever, but I felt like I needed the testimonials.
Yeah.
So I have been, I have been doing free trials, and I've been getting awesome testimonials and great reviews back. So now I guess I'm at the place to where I'm comfortable enough to say, okay, I need to make an offer, but then like, how do I do that?
Yeah. So I think your instincts are right that you do want to have some testimonial, some proof of concept.
Right.
And then like one of the things that we were talking about in the visibility vault this morning, because we create we call it the low tech sacred offer. Okay. So it's just like a live workshop that you take people through. Okay. And you take people obviously in a group setting, and you're going to price this anywhere between $50 and $500. And that's meant to give people it's meant to give people the opportunity to get a really deep result from you, but fast, right? So, I mean, I can go deep into what this offer is, but for the sake of this, so once you have that, that's easy to fill, because if you go live every day and you're talking about this and you're actually giving good information. Now,
Mhm.
I am not talking about giving bullshit information like what a lot of the marketing people tell you to do. They will. They say you always have to talk about the what and give them the how inside. It is impossible for you to give the how in a live stream. It is. So don't worry about giving too much, because you can't give enough.
Right.
In 5 minutes, you really can't. So you need to take your sexiest stuff and offer it genuinely. And then the people that are meant to work with you are going to want to take it to the next level anyway.
Right.
Does that make sense?
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So I mean, I think that the easiest way, if you don't have a list, if you don't have, is really doing live streams. It's like a live stream launch. And then you do have to connect with people on DMs and things like that. So you have to be open to that. And I don't know how comfortable you are with that, but you do. That's how you sign people up, because people have to have, it's either that or they have to have a way of setting up an appointment with you and of you screening them, right? So for example, creating a simple sales page where they can read a little bit about your offer and then set up an appointment to speak to you is another great way of doing it. But most of the times, and I don't know if anyone can speak to this who's done this before, but you have a sales page and you go live, or you do posts, or you have to make this visible and catch that, really captivate them by letting them know that you understand their pain points perfectly well, right? And giving them a mindset shift, or or some value around that. But most of the times they will DM you anyway, or you'll have to start the conversation, and then you can send them that link so you can screen them. So that is the best place to start if you don't have any ads or funnels or anything else like that.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Anything else? We're getting some good questions. Okay, so today what I want to talk about is these last 2 months of the year, because one thing that I've always noticed is that there's only 2 types of entrepreneurs at this time of year. The ones that go full force and you see them all over the place, and you see their ads and their Black Friday sales, and they just know they're busy right now. And then there's other ones that are just kind of like, I'll wait until the new year. And that is such a mistake, especially for our community, because right now we are going into the season where, yes, people are going to be buying presents and spending money. But guess what? They're spending money. They are in that place where they're like, oh, I wanted to do this. I didn't do it. I'm going to do it now. So it's really about how can you develop the right thing. It's all about having the right product. And I know I sound like a broken record, but it's about having the right offer in front of the right people, in front of enough of the right people, right? The right offer with the right messaging in front of enough of the right people. And if you have that, you don't need a huge list. You don't need 20,000 Instagram followers. You just need to be able to have that, be able to say, hey, here's the offer, and they want it, and that's it. So at this time also, it's really, really important to understand, like, what is it that's keeping you from creating that cash flow? Is it money mindset? Is it the fact that you're not sure what what that offer should be? By the way, on day 3, I'm going to go into how to create an offer, a really good one that you can make money with right away. Because if you think about it, like what I was talking to Laura about, it's just about simplifying things, right? At the end of the day, what is cash flow? It's a credit card, and it's your Stripe payment or your Square payment, right? And behind that, there's a result that you're giving someone. And chances are that every single one of you here can give somebody a big result. So as long as you have the ability to give someone a big result, even if it's a tarot reading, as long as you have something to give of value, you can create cash flow. Because never before did we have we can just take a credit card over the phone and get on live stream, and on Zoom, and be able to teach and coach and provide all of these resources. Like there's never been a better time than now, right? So sometimes, like I was telling Laura, we think of it as it's such a big thing that it weighs over my shoulder so much, but really it's just simplifying it. And once we can come up with the right question, I was talking to my best friend about this weekend. We have to have the right question in our head in order for us to get the right response from the universe. We have to. And this is like totally applicable to business. So Barbara said, sometimes I make things so much more complicated that it needs to be. Yeah, we all do. I really needed to just get out of my own way. So one way to get out of our own way is to get out of our head and to get into our body, right? Because creativity, one of my coaches once said, there's no such thing as money problems, just idea problems. And I was like, but I have so many ideas. No. You don't have the right ideas. So sometimes your ideas just take you on a crazy path, which was true for me. But sometimes we really just need to get out of our head, because creativity is actually something that comes from this part, real creativity. Like, do I have any art aficionados here? I love art. And if I go to a gallery, I can tell you the art that I love is the crazy art, the art that's just like, whoa, I can feel it, right? And then there's the art that's really technique and pretty and all planned out and sketched out and, colored in. And for me, it's more of like, I need that like crazy emotional art, but that is creativity. Creativity is all about us being able to get back into our body. So when we overthink things, it's because sometimes we want to follow things by the book. We want to follow that template that person gave us, and that step by step. I know I'm supposed to just do what that person, but and then it keeps us from listening to our own intuition. We already know. So if you have the right intuition, if you're connected to your intuition, and then you have someone like me or another coach, whoever, giving you the tools, that's supposed to fuel you forward instead of like overthinking it. Am I making sense here? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Barbara says, I'm a very heady person. I get it. So am I. So am I. And so at this time of the year, we go into like all these money stories as well, inevitably, and they come from, what was going on in your house during the holidays. Was your mom like buying stuff and then hiding it from your dad? Was it like, you guys know what I'm talking about? There's all kinds of things, did you go through massive highs and lows? Do you have this idea that hard work pays off? Like, is it supposed to be hard? Because creating cash flow is very simple. It actually is very simple. But you have to have the right question. And and it has to come from right here. I know it sounds cliche, but it really does. Like, I know that there have been times in my life where I have been like, oh my God, I need that because that needs to get paid. And it's like that need is real, right? And as soon as that need is real and it comes from right here, all of a sudden, things activate. For example, if your refrigerator broke, would you really leave it unbroken? No. You would figure out a way to get it done. Whether it was, oh, I have this client that I spoke to a while ago, and I'm going to follow up and catch up with her, see how she's doing. Right? Or you would go sell something on eBay, right? Like, things activate as soon as the need is actually real. But the thing is that we don't need things to break down in order for us to be able to ask and command things into creation. We just need to tap into them from that space. So I want to give you guys, do I have any other questions? So I want to give you guys a couple of ideas and suggestions to create cash flow. The first one is to create a topic. You can create topic specific sessions. Everyone here can create a topic specific session. Okay. You can create the Santa session. You can create something that is different from your everyday offer, but that can give someone a fast result. And that's even like more simple than the low tech sacred offer. Because everyone on here, chances are that you offer sessions of some sort, right? So it doesn't have to be a free discovery session. It can be another session that you brand it and you turn it into something powerful and branded, and let them know what steps you're going to take them through in these next 60 to 90 minutes. Okay. And then you give that you have to honor your pricing, you have to honor your value. But if it's a first time client, or if you want to create cash flow really fast, why not just say, you know what, this is my Black Friday opportunity. Black Friday is a great time to offer things, I believe. And there's so many things that you can do. You can have bonuses. If they sign up at a certain time, you can have discounts. You can have payment options. We have a payment option. We're opening up enrollment soon for the mastermind, and we developed a payment option where they can start with a deposit, and they don't have to pay until the first installment until the beginning of the year. Do you see that there's so many ways that you can create that? So yeah, so I really love having like the topic specific sessions. I think that's a really good way, especially if you're just getting started, to just create some cash flow. I used to do, and with that said, tarot readings. What a great opportunity to meet someone, do a reading for them. I used to do these readings called my Wheel of Fortune, which, Laura, I'm doing yours tomorrow. Or a mini one, where I would just give them like readings of what's going on in your business based on your archetypes, right? And I used to get paid $350 to give a 1 hour reading.
Wow.
Yeah. So again, but all, with that said, Simone, like I heard you say, wow, and it's because of my confidence. No. It was a good thing. No, it's a good thing because I want to talk about this. It's your confidence. You need to know that you're worth it. It's money is such an interesting thing. It's just a number. Has anybody here ever bought a $70 white t-shirt? Yeah. So you can go to Target and buy one for $10 or $15, or you can go to a designer store and buy the same t-shirt for $70. And how did the $70 one make you feel? Special. You took care of it, right? Money is an activation in itself. So you have to be confident about it. So what we're actually going to talk about sales. Anybody in here feel like they're allergic to sales calls? Sheila's like, yes. Yeah, I get this a lot. And sales are amazing. I'm going to give you some really good insights into having fun, transformative, and profitable sales calls, because there's different types of sales calls. But I mean, I used to teach sales. That was my first coaching gig, sales. But I learned so much. And the one thing that I love about him the most is that you really can get to know someone, and you can connect, right? I'm a people person. I like them that way. But anyways, I'll talk more about that. So Laura says you can do a wheel of life reading. Yeah, most you guys have those wheels, totally. And now you may be wondering, but I'm not psychic. Yes, you are. Every single person is psychic. But you have to own that. You have to learn how to listen to your intuition and get information. And then you have to trust it and stand on it. I can't wait to give you your mini reading. You're going to be like, oh my God. So cool. Okay, so the other one. Sorry.
Or you said that we need to create a topic specific session, right? That we can offer.
You can create a topic specific session. So notice how that's such a smaller bite-sized opportunity to meet your clients where they're at. It's all about us being able to meet our clients where they're at. That's why it's so important to understand your customer journey and the journey that you're taking people through. The ascension ladder. We went over that today. I did go over that today, didn't I, Liz? The ascension ladder, right? Yeah. So that's why when people, for example, my list, my email list, everybody has bought a product from me, a small product, all 3 products, 2 products, whatever. So it's so much easier for them to know, like, and trust and go and try something else, and then try something else. When you are first launching, a lot of coaches will tell you to do high ticket because it is the fastest path to cash flow. You just really have to be tuned in to your content. Like, you have to be out there on social media, and you have to create engagement constantly. What I recommend is if you're just launching, I recommend, yes, create your high ticket, go launch it on social media with organic, make some money, and start automating. You do not and should not be doing organic for a really long time, because you're going to exhaust yourself. It's just exhausting. I mean, I think that there are people that like to be on social media all day long, and it's fun for them. That's not me. So I recommend, but there are skills that are important to have. You know, today we were talking about some of the Instagram secrets, some of the features that you can use. Understanding that, for example, reels get fed out to people that don't know you. Stories get fed out only to people that follow you. But if you have no followers yet and you're doing stories all day long, then so understanding the rules of the game is so important. But if anybody tells you that you need to be doing, organic social media forever, it's the perfect way to burn yourself out.
Do lives go out to only people that follow you, or do those also go?
In IGTV, no, lives get notified to everyone, I think. But then, if you repost that live stream to IGTV only goes to your followers.
So that's why it's important to do a live and not a recorded and then upload.
And then, but if you do a live inside your stories, for example, a live inside your stories only goes to the people that you know. So this is where it's important to understand that ascension ladder and the tool, which is Instagram, how to use that tool to share it at what point. And there's simple things. You're going to get the replay on that too. So don't look so confused. We did that class today. Barbara says, automation is my biggest issue too. Too many to choose from. And when you change something, you have to remember to go back and change other things as well. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's, yeah, you too. I think I understand what you're talking about, Barbara. You're talking about automations on Active Campaign, or your email automation series and stuff like that. It's totally, yeah, there's definitely there's a method to the madness. Okay, so some other ideas for you. So I mentioned the tarot readings, the mediumship readings. I mentioned that. Raising your rates. Who in here doesn't want to double your rates? What if you could add a 0 to your rate? How cool would that be? Your time is valuable. So freaking valuable. And it feels good to get paid. But you have to feel that value first. This is why, if you're just getting started, Simone, if you're just getting started, I remember when I was getting started and I didn't have that level of confidence, I asked myself, what needs to happen for me to feel that level of confidence? And my answer was, I need to know that they're going to get a result. Well, how do I know they're going to get a result? I need to start working with some people. Well, how can I start working with some people? Well, I'm going to reach out to 5 people and I'm going to make $100 offer, and I'm going to make $500, and I'm going to start working right away. This is when I was first getting started. You see what I'm saying? And then once I worked with those 5 people, I was floored that I made $500 by coaching people. I was like, oh my God. Isn't that funny? And then after that, I did it again, but I was like, oh, I'm going to charge 200 now. And then I did it again. And I was like, I'm not waking up for less than this. Sorry. So that's how it happens. Now, there are people that are ready to bridge the gap between here and here like this. And that's amazing. That's great too, you know? So it doesn't mean you have to staircase. If you already know that you're worth a certain, then that's what it is. It's all about how you feel about yourself. Oh, this is a really good one for those of you who have been coaching for a while. Existing clients. Oh my God, you already did the marketing. You already working with them. And I see so many people that have clients already. And this is actually for you, Liz, as well, because you've already had clients, even if they're like your tarot reading card clients. These are people that already know you, like you, and trust you. And chances are you can do something more for them. So one of my coaches taught me that, because I remember I was working with a client and I was like, I'm working with this client and I'm struggling with this, but I need this. And now her time is almost up. And he said to me, you can offer her more of the same, something new, or faster results. More of the same. Write this down, guys. This is important stuff. I paid a lot of money to get that piece of advice. But I've kept this with me my entire coaching career. More of the same, something new, or faster results. And if you can become an offer ninja, you're going to know how to do that. It's a thing. Oh my God, one day you're going to be like, oh, I know exactly what to offer her. And you're going to be able to, you'll be at Starbucks somewhere, you'll have a napkin, and right on your napkin, you'll have the entire outline of what you're going to take her through. So I know I gave you guys more than 5, or at least 5, because I wrote them down, but I gave them to you all out of order. So do we have any questions? Is this helpful? Okay, good.
Very helpful. Can you do a quick review going down them just to throw them out?
Yeah. So we talked about the themed session. And when I'm thinking of a themed session, I'm not necessarily thinking of a tarot reading. I'm thinking of like, how can you give someone a coaching session that's going to give them a specific breakthrough? Okay, so for example, I used to do these money breakthrough sessions where in one session, we would break through like one big, like I had this method where I would take them through this method and it would get like, they would be like, oh my God, that's amazing that I just understood that. And then we would outline like their next action steps. So that's what I mean, like a coaching themed session. And then you can do a tarot reading. That's a second one, or a mediumship reading, or a circle of life reading. And those are amazing as the entry points to be able to offer something else. So you could easily charge someone $60, $70, whatever your rate is, for a session. And then they're going to want to take it one step further, because you're going to give them you're going to give them good information. But usually in a tarot reading, they get the what's wrong. They don't get the how. Does that make sense? In order to learn how to transform what they now know about, they're going to need something. So always have that ready. Always have that ready. Raise your rates. That's an easy way to make cash flow. Just raise them. Just add a 0. Oh, and then I was talking about with the existing clients. Existing clients, more you offer, like when you're crafting your packages, you can either offer them more of the same, something new, or faster results. Now, actually, the last one that I wanted to talk about is, has anybody in here ever done an intensive for someone? Talk about creating cash flow fast. So one of the things that I also did when I first got started is I did VIP days. Every now and then I'll do a VIP day. Now, I just did a couple months ago. But a VIP day is, you can either do like a 3-hour VIP session with someone where you're selling speed. This is what you're doing. You are selling them a specific result really fast. Now, this may work more for consultants than for coaches, but I don't know. I believe that you could probably do a VIP for almost anyone, but I'm a consultant. So I would say, okay, so on this day, we're going to tackle this subject and we're going to get it all done. So, and VIP days, you can sell between $700 and $2,000 for VIP day. And then the cool thing about VIP days is that now that, for example, if you helped them really figure out their branding, now they also want to take it up a notch and do the other stuff. Make sense? So everything should always feed into the next step of the ascension ladder. Yay! I'm so glad, Barbara. So yeah, so we have about 10 minutes if you guys want to, if anybody has any questions. If not, tomorrow I'm going to come back and give you some more ideas. And I'm also, tomorrow we're going to do sales. Are we doing sales? No, I think tomorrow I'm going to do the how to create packages that sell, like a simple package, like the elements of the packages. And then on Wednesday, we're going to talk about sales, my favorite. Questions, thoughts, ideas? Hi, Blaze. I didn't see you were on.
I'm excited about tomorrow, about the how to create package. So
Yeah, I'll definitely give you guys some good stuff. Yeah, hi, babe. All right, so tomorrow I won't be on the full hour. So let's be here on time. I will be teaching for about 20 minutes, and then I'll have the next 10 minutes as a Q&A. But then on Wednesday, I'll have full Q&A. So, all right. So thank you all for joining me. We are opening up the enrollment for the mastermind. If anyone is interested, set up your appointment soon. We have some amazing deals going on. Okay. Bye.